Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. Wednesday, it is time for weigh-in and meeting topic. If you remember, I had a couple really good weeks, and then all of a sudden, last week, I had a gain. I was up 1.2 last week. This week, I'm happy to say I am down, but I'm still riding the roller coaster. I am down 0.6, so I lost part of it. Part of it is better than none of it. And considering the weekend we had, Friday night, we had those pizza twists for dinner and ice cream. Saturday, what was Saturday? I don't remember Saturday. And then Sunday, we went out to the Mexican place and had dessert. And then Monday, we were in Lancaster and ate out and had dessert. So I will be very happy with my 0.6, but that just goes to show you that you can, I hate to say live your life because we can't have our lives revolve around food, but you can have treats. You can celebrate occasions and still do well. It's just on how you do it. Like there were 6 of us for lunch on Sunday, and we split 2 desserts between 6 of us. That's the way to do it. Could I have eaten an entire piece of the tres leches cake myself? 100% I could have. It was as big as my head, and it was the best tres leches cake I have ever had in my life. And it is one of my favorites. But that's not what we did. We split it between 6 of us. 2 desserts between 6 people. And on Monday, we went out to Lancaster, and I said, it's hard to go to Lancaster and not get a donut. So Doug and I split an apple fritter. I was still able to have something. I was still able to indulge, but I didn't eat a whole one. I didn't need it. I didn't eat it. So just goes to show you, you can still have a few. Now, we did have way too many treats this weekend with, being with both boys and the girlfriends and all that. So yes, you heard me right. Andrew and Ann are officially an item. They started out as friends. It grew from there. So we're very happy. We love her to death. So anyway, that is my weigh-in. I am down 0.6. I am happy with that. I have a feeling this is going to be a fantastic week. I really do. I think it is. We'll see. So on to the WW topic. How to make breakfast work for you. Now, I love me some breakfast. I love breakfast in the morning. I like it in the afternoon, and I like it for dinner. I just love breakfast foods. Let's see what WW has to say, and then I'll chime in. Of course, I always have an opinion. So it says, how to make breakfast work for you. The jury's still out on whether it's actually the most important meal of the day, but breakfast doesn't have to be bananas, literally or figuratively. Here's how to take your mornings from chaos to calm. Try this. Number 1, decide on the basics. I'm going to eat my first meal when, at, where. So I'm going to eat, for me, I'm going to eat my first meal at 9:30 because that's generally what I do Monday to Friday. And where am I going to eat it? Right here in the comfort of my home. Now, Doug's looks a little different. Doug eats his first meal between 9 and 9:30. Where does he eat his? At his desk. I pack his breakfast for him because he does not like to eat super early in the morning. He does not like to eat until between 9 and 9:30. So I pack his breakfast every morning. Sometimes it's as simple as a bagel and cream cheese. Other times, like yesterday, it was an omelet and sausage. If you've watched my channel, we are not big preppers when it comes to food prep. I like things a little bit fresh. I don't like reheat it. Doug doesn't mind reheat it. I'm not a big fan. So, there are times when I make like the sausage gravy breakfast bowls. Yes, we have those for a couple days. because it makes so much. When we have cream chip beef, same thing. When we have quiche, same thing. But generally, not so much. So that's the first thing you have to do, is decide on where and when you are eating. Secondly, make a plan. I want to eat blank, what, and use blank points. I'll shop for the ingredients when. So basically, this is, hang on. Okay, I had an early drop off this morning. We're gonna try to get through this while he's playing with the big, huge new bin of trucks I just acquired yesterday. So they want you to make a plan. What you're gonna eat, how many points you wanna spend, and when you will shop for the ingredients. Everybody has their own way of menu planning, meal planning, grocery shopping. Just make sure it's actually working for you. Now, if you watch my channel on the regular, you know how I do it. Every Friday, I present my menu to you, and I have breakfast, I have lunch, and I have dinner. Why I plan it out is because things like, we'll take for example, this Sunday. This Sunday, we have our monthly double date with our besties, and we are going to a Billy Joel cover band concert. It's local, it's just a couple towns over, and we are going out to dinner before said concert. So I know that it is going to be a high point, high calorie dinner. Probably. I mean, I say high point like I'm going to go crazy. I'm not. I'm going to choose very wisely from the menu, but it is restaurant food. It will be higher point, and I'll probably a little bit more indulgent than I would make at home. So how do I plan for that? I plan for that by having a low point, low cal breakfast. And it's on Sunday, and we don't eat lunch on Sunday anyway because we have a later brunch. So I plan my breakfast to reflect my dinner. I know that sounds a little bit crazy to some people, but that's how you have to do it. You have to figure out the rest of your meals for the meal that you want, and starting with breakfast. So look at it, decide. If you know you're going out to dinner, plan that low point breakfast. If you have eggs as a 0 point food, have 2 eggs and some Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon's like 1 point, eggs are 0. There you go. You have a 1 point breakfast that is packed with protein that is going to keep you full and satiated. If you don't feel that's going to be enough for you, if you have Greek yogurt as a 0 point food, throw some Greek yogurt in there. On days when you have something going on, rely heavily on those 0 point foods, but also be mindful, because 0 point does not mean 0 calorie. We know this. You can't say, well, I'm going to eat, we're going out to dinner, so I need to keep my breakfast low point, so I think I'll have a dozen eggs. No. Mind your portions. That is very important, to mind your portions. But you may want to plan your breakfast around the rest of your meals for the day. So decide what you're going to do. And if you make a menu plan, you can make a grocery list, and you can grocery shop for the whole week or the whole month or however it is you like to shop. And this says, sure, you can stick with the classic eggs and oatmeal, but even dinner leftovers are fair game. Search the WW app for more inspo. Now, I personally like a breakfast that has a lot of protein, that has a decent amount of protein in it. I am not a big fan of powdered proteins or things like that. It's just not for me. I prefer to get my protein through foods. And right away, everybody thinks, okay, meat. There's so much more food that has protein in it than meat. A lot of our vegetables have protein in it. So if you take some eggs and you make a veggie omelet, research, find out what vegetables, broccoli's one of them, has a lot of protein. Make an omelet. Throw some meat on the side if you are a meat eater. Throw some Greek yogurt into those eggs. You can bulk up your protein at breakfast a lot. And by eating protein at breakfast, it is going to keep you full, it is going to keep you satiated, and it is going to keep your blood glucose steady for the day. If you're eating sweets and treats for breakfast. If you're eating, now, let me preface this by saying I eat French toast. I eat oatmeal. I eat pancakes maybe once a week because they're nothing but carbs. And even if you put Greek yogurt in your waffles or your carbs, you're still kind of like, okay, well, I'm adding protein to it, but I'm still having all these carbs. So you're kind of negating the protein. So definitely try to stay away from the sweet treat breakfasts as much as possible and eat something that is going to keep you full and satiated and keep your blood glucose levels steady. By having a sweet treat in the morning, it's going to spike your blood glucose levels, and then all day you're going to be on that hamster wheel. Now this comes from my nutritionist, not from me, so I'm going to go with what she says. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. I do not pretend to be. I just listen to what she says and go from there. So, definitely try to get some fiber in the morning. If you're going to have fruit, eat it after you eat your proteins and your fibers. Eat the fruit last, once again, to keep your blood glucose levels steady. So make a plan. It all comes down to the plan. That's number 2, make a plan. Number 3, prep your meal. I'll get my ingredients together when, and I'll cook when. So that's what you need to decide. Are you a prepper? Are you going to make a bunch of stuff on Sunday and eat it for the whole week? Are you a daily girl? Are you going to make it every morning? Or guy, I'm sorry. Are you going to make it every morning fresh? You have to do what's right for you. Don't listen to anybody else. Just because so-and-so does it on YouTube or so-and-so does it on Instagram doesn't mean you have to do it if it is not right for you. Make it right for you and make it work. Because if it works for you and if it's easy for you, you're going to stick with it a little bit longer. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of reheated food, but certain things I will. Like I'll make a batch of egg bites on a Monday night and we'll have them Tuesday and Wednesday. It's perfect. I get 14 egg bites out of the recipe because that's how many little wells are in the egg bite molds for the Instant Pot. And it's perfect. That's 2 days breakfast. Doug eats 4, I eat 3. So 7 a day, perfect. And I don't mind those heated up, honestly. What else don't I mind? Like if I make sausage gravy bowls, breakfast bowls, I don't mind that heated up. I'm more of I don't like chicken and stuff heated up. So breakfast isn't too bad and I can prep that a little bit, but usually I just go with the flow and make it every morning because it works for me. Do what works for you. If you're going to do what works for you, you're going to stick with it longer. Yep. And if you find yourself getting hungry, try eating breakfast a little bit later if that is a possibility for you. Now, I know if you're a teacher or whatever, it's probably not a possibility. You need to eat before you go to school. You can't eat at school. I get that. And if you are getting hungry mid-morning, have a good healthy snack. Do not reach for the Cheez-Its or the pretzels or the chips or the peanut butter crackers. Reach for some fruit or some vegetables or some yogurt, something that is going to give you a little bit more oomph. You're going to get some fiber from the vegetables and the fruit, and that is going to keep you full. You're going to get some protein from the Greek yogurt and dairy. That is going to keep you full. The peanut butter crackers are nothing but processed, empty calories. They're not going to keep you full. Now, if you take a good slice of whole sprouted bread or a good slice of homemade bread or something like that and slap some peanut butter on it, that's another great choice because it's got full of things that are going to keep you full. So think about that when you're planning your breakfast also. How long is this breakfast going to sustain you? It does say about prepping your meal, these don't have to be the same day. Make a single meal, batch cook for an entire week, or don't cook at all. And by that, they mean make something like overnight oats. I personally don't think you should have oatmeal every day because, like I said, kind of missing out on some things. And oatmeal is pretty carb heavy, but you have to do what works for you. Do some research. Do some research about the order of eating your foods and what you should eat in the morning for good sustainability and stuff like that. You'll be surprised. So then it says, let's dive a little deeper. If the only things on the breakfast menu at your house tend to be coffee with a side of chaos, we get it. Mornings might feel rushed at best, and at worst, like your alarm is a starting gun for a 10K sprint. I felt like that this morning. Or maybe you wake up famished, grab whatever, and use more points than intended. That's where a little planning and strategic prep come in. Not hungry in the morning? No biggie. Research suggests skipping breakfast won't necessarily help or hamper your weight loss efforts, nor will eating it. But for those who want to level up or start a new routine, prep when it works for you and choose foods that you're excited to eat. This will make it feel easier to fit a nutritious meal into your schedule, and it can help set a healthy tone for the day, which could have a positive ripple effect on other parts of your journey. So, excuse me. I know, I woke up hungry this morning. We had just started our workout, and I said to Doug, man, I'm hungry. My stomach's growling. Am I going to stop my workout and eat something at 5 in the morning? Absolutely not, because I know it's going to go away. And let me tell you, it went away. I'm drinking my tea. Am I hungry? Yeah, I could eat, but my stomach's not growling and I'm not starving. Sometimes the minute our stomach growls, right away we're like, oh, I have to eat. Back up and give yourself a little bit of time. Sometimes our stomach's just growling because we're up in the morning, or maybe we took a big swig of water and it got stuff moving in there. Give yourself a little time. Feel the hunger, decide if it's really hunger or if it's head hunger. Go do something else and then maybe come back. Because I guarantee if you wake up and you're starving and you just grab the first thing you find, in about an hour or two, when you really feel hungry, you're going to have to eat again. And now you're using more points, more calories, and all that. So really kind of pay attention to your body cues and decide what works best for you and when. If eating first thing the minute you wake up in the morning works for you, and then do it. But if it's not working for you, don't be afraid to try to change it just a little bit and see what works for you. Don't be afraid to change. Don't. Just because it works for somebody else, it may not work for you. Just because I can wait till 9 or 9:30, maybe you can't. So do what works for you. Do what's best for you. Do some research. Find out maybe if you're not staying satisfied in the morning, do a little bit of research and find out what may help you to stay satisfied in the morning. Everyone is different, and everyone is going to have a different journey, and everyone is going to have differences that work for them. You just need to find yours. And it may be a little bit of trial and error. It may not be on the first time. It may not be on the 5th time. It may not be until the 10th or 11th time. Just don't stop. Just keep trying. Keep trying new things. Keep trying different things. You will find what works for you. And guess what? What works for you today may not work for you next week. May not work for you the week after. It may work for you for a month and then not work. You need to listen to your body. You need to listen to your hunger cues, and you need to figure out what works for you and not be afraid of change. So that's all I have to say about that. Not very insightful, I don't think, but I don't know. I love breakfast. I can't wait to have my breakfast this morning. And like I said, I'm not saying I never have a fun breakfast. I had a fun breakfast yesterday, and I definitely need to make it and film it for you guys. It was more of like a Sunday brunchy type breakfast. It was phenomenal. It was cream apple pie French toast. Crazy amount of points, not a lot of calories, and can definitely be made lighter point depending on the foods that you choose to use. You know, I try to use all whole foods. So of course my points are going to be higher. But like I said, my cat, like I think it was, I'm afraid to even tell you, 15 points. But it was 420 calories, I think. So not bad considering my base calories are 1370, and it was amazing. Is it something I would make on a weekday morning? No, it's definitely something I will do I wanted to try it out yesterday, but it's definitely something I will do for a nice Sunday, leisurely Sunday brunch or something. But I definitely want to make it again, and I definitely want to film it for you guys. And of course, I will definitely talk about the tweaks you can make. So anyway, now I'm rambling and I need to get my day started. So thank you so much for watching. Once again, I am down 0.6. I am very happy with that considering the weekend we had. And I plan on having a fantastic week this week. You know, despite going out on Sunday, I can navigate that. I'm comfortable navigating that, and that's it. So my friends, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to spend it with me. I'll pop a couple videos over here for you. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in my next video.